Have you ever felt a sudden chill in a warm room? A flicker of light at the edge of your vision? Have you wondered whether someone or something is silently watching, guiding, or even protecting you? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll explore one of the most mysterious and often overlooked truths in Buddhist cosmology: you are not alone. Around you at every moment are celestial beings, devas, spirits, guardians who exist on higher planes, invisible to most, yet constantly interacting with your world. So why can't you see them? Let us unravel this spiritual enigma. According to Buddhist texts, the world we see is only a small fragment of what truly exists. Just as a fish might know only water, we know only the narrow spectrum of human experience. Our eyes see a limited range of light. Our ears hear a limited range of sound. Our minds interpret only what aligns with our conditioning. But beyond that are layers of reality, dimensions teeming with beings made not of flesh and bone, but of energy and merit. These are the devas, the celestial beings who reside in realms of light, bliss, and refined consciousness. But they are not gods in the Western sense. They are not omnipotent creators. They are beings on their own journeys, some more awakened than humans, some still caught in cycles of karma, desire, and rebirth. So why can't we see them? The answer lies not in their absence but in our distraction. Most humans live in a state of inner noise, mental chatter, emotional reactivity, physical tension. These create a kind of fog, a veil that blocks higher frequencies of perception. Imagine trying to hear a whisper in the middle of a rock concert. That's the modern mind. The devas haven't gone anywhere. We've simply stopped listening. But there are those who still sense them. Monks in deep meditation. Children whose minds haven't yet been cluttered. Those nearing death, whose consciousness is loosening from the body. And there are those rare moments during prayer, grief, silence, when the veil thins and something touches us. A peace we didn't expect. A light we didn't turn on. A knowing that wasn't taught. These are not coincidences. They are glimpses of what is always around us. Let us now look more closely at the ways celestial beings interact with us, even though most of us are completely unaware. In Buddhist cosmology, devas are described as luminous beings who live in higher realms, born of merit, compassion, and refined karma. They are said to radiate light, speak through intuition, and sometimes intervene in subtle but profound ways. And though invisible, their presence is not insignificant. Think about those moments in your life when you narrowly avoided disaster. A sudden delay that kept you from being in the wrong place at the wrong time. A random stranger who appeared with exactly the right words. A flash of intuition that told you to stop, turn back, or wait. These are not always coincidences. Sometimes they are the unseen hand of devas or protectors, nudging you gently. Not forcing but guiding. But here's something crucial. Devas respond not to greed, not to arrogance, but to sincerity. Their world vibrates at a frequency aligned with compassion and clarity. So when a human mind is clouded by anger, selfishness, or delusion, that frequency becomes inaccessible. They cannot meet us there. We have to rise closer to their vibration. That's why people in meditation, prayer, or acts of genuine kindness often report sensing presence, light, or inexplicable calm. They are tuning in. Now, it's important to clarify that devas are not enlightened Buddhas. They are still beings within samsara. Some are benevolent, some neutral, and some can even be mischievous. This is why Buddhist teachers always emphasize that one should not become obsessed with visions or spirits. Because even devas are not permanent refuges. They are still impermanent. They still eventually face rebirth. The ultimate refuge is not in devas, it is in the Dharma. Still, devas can play a vital role. They can protect temples. They can inspire practitioners. They can bring blessings to households where the Dharma is honored. And sometimes they can serve as karmic messengers, delivering consequences or reminders to those straying too far from compassion. There's a story told of a monk in Sri Lanka who lived a life of deep virtue. Villagers often reported seeing strange lights around his hut at night. Some heard celestial music faintly in the air. When asked, the monk simply smiled and said, "Where there is virtue, devas rejoice." He did not claim powers. He did not seek visions. But his sincerity created a beacon, and devas naturally gathered, like moths to a flame of goodness. This story reminds us that the key to sensing devas is not seeking them but embodying what attracts them. Virtue, mindfulness, generosity, compassion. When you live this way, you don't need to chase them. They come to you. But why can't most of us see them with our eyes? Because human senses are limited. We see only a fraction of the light spectrum. We hear only a slice of vibration. Just as bees see ultraviolet and dogs hear frequencies we cannot, devas exist in ranges of perception our coarse senses cannot grasp. It's not that they are unreal. It's that we are unequipped. Yet, when the mind is purified, the senses expand. And sometimes, just for a moment, the veil lifts. One woman named Clara shared that after weeks of intensive meditation, she began to see faint, shimmering lights moving around the temple hall during evening chants. At first she thought she was imagining it, but as her mind quieted further, the lights grew clearer. They never distracted her. They never spoke, but she said they radiated peace. Later, her teacher told her, "When the heart is still, the devas come close. But do not cling to them. Let them be like clouds in the sky, passing, beautiful but not the goal." This is the central point. The presence of devas is not the end of the path. It's a reminder, a sign that the universe is more alive than we know, a whisper that goodness is noticed. But the true work remains, cultivating wisdom and compassion. So, what can you do to live in harmony with devas? First, live with integrity. Honesty, kindness, patience, these are like fragrances devas are drawn to. Second, honor sacred spaces. Temples, altars, even a small corner of your home dedicated to practice, these become places where unseen beings gather. Third, dedicate merit. Each time you practice, dedicate it not only to humans but to all beings seen and unseen. Devas too benefit from your sincerity, and in turn they bless you. And finally, let go of fear. Not all unseen beings are devas. Some are wandering spirits, lost or confused. But fear only feeds negativity. If you meet such presence, offer compassion. Offer prayers. Hold your heart steady. Remember, light always dissolves darkness. So tonight, as you sit in silence, remember you are never alone. Even in the stillness of your room, countless beings share this vast web of existence. Some watch, some guide, some protect, and all remind us that life is infinitely larger than what our eyes perceive. Do not seek them, do not cling to them, but do not dismiss them either. Walk with humility, live with compassion, and know that even unseen you are accompanied. Thank you for watching this video. If this exploration opened your heart, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who has felt the mystery of unseen presence. And in the comments, tell us, have you ever sensed something beyond the ordinary? A presence, a light, a whisper. Your story may inspire others to trust the unseen.